So as the NBA season is slowly coming to an end and we're approaching the upcoming NBA season, most teams around the league have made a majority of their moves and finalized their roster, besides the Golden State Warriors. Despite making 3 trades that included some very good and effective role players, the most important missing piece on the team still wasn't addressed, which was the fact that the Warriors didn't have a second scoring option. Even though the Warriors couldn't land Paul George, there was one player on the market that not only fit the description of being a second option, but his playstyle heavily resembles the Warriors' offensive system, and that player is none other than Lauri Markkanen. The Warriors front office made it public that they were going to pursue Markkanen at all costs to help Steph contend for a championship this season, so they put together a trade package to negotiate with one of the stingiest GMs in the league, Danny Ainge, to potentially trade for Lauri Markkanen. The trade package was rumored to include Moses Moody, multiple first round picks, multiple pick swaps, and multiple second round picks. Everything that I just mentioned was a guarantee in exchange for Lauri Markkanen. However, Danny Ainge, being Danny Ainge, decided that he wanted pretty much the Warriors' entire future for Markkanen. He refused to accept the offer that only included Moody, and it was reported by Shams that Danny Ainge wanted Podz, Kuminga, and Moody, plus the picks in exchange for Markkanen, which is absolutely insane. The Warriors obviously didn't accept that. They continued to negotiate, and it was apparent that Danny Ainge wanted Podz more than Kuminga, and that it was mandatory to include him in the trade, or else Markkanen was going to stay in Utah. But the Warriors were unwilling to include Podz, stating that they believe he has a ton of all-star potential. So now fast forward to the time of this recording, it was just announced that Lauri Markkanen has agreed to sign an extension with the Utah Jazz for 5 years, $238 million. So obviously now that we're here, Dub Nation is pissed. They're livid. A 37-year-old Steph is going to have to break his back and win another Clutch Player of the Year award just for the Warriors to make the 10th seed again in the play-in tournament. People are obviously throwing shade at the Warriors front office, but also at Brandin Podziemski as well, which isn't fair. The guy wasn't negotiating, he's still a young player, and people are going to be on his case all season preying on his downfall. Best believe if this man misses a wide open layup again against the Chicago Bulls next season, you're never going to hear the end of it. So now the question becomes, did the Warriors mess up by not including Podz? Should they have just gone all in no matter what and agreed to Danny Ainge's terms? Maybe, who knows? This is only something where time will tell. I'm here to tell you that it's not as bad as you think. People are downplaying Podz's development and potential as a player, but I'm going to state why Podz could be a better player than you think heading into this season. Let me first preface this by saying that I've been pushing this narrative that the 2 timelines that the Warriors have been trying to prioritize are very much ludicrous. They have been trying to prioritize Steph, but also the young guys as well, which isn't going to work. So I've been a part of the group that has wanted the Warriors to ship off some of the young guys to bring in some good veteran role players that fit to help Steph. However, Brandin Podziemski had a very good rookie season. His traditional stats are not overwhelmingly impressive, but it was good enough for him to be NBA All-Rookie First Team. But something that was impressive that I don't think people remember was the fact that he led the NBA in total charges drawn with 38 charges and 0.51 charges per game. As a rookie, that is very hard to do. Usually, if you're a rookie, you tend to pick up the game in the NBA in a clunky manner. It's very common to see guys make mistakes, take bad shots, argue with referees, etc. But for you to be a rookie and you're leading in a hustle stat above guys that are 4, 5, 6 years in the NBA ahead of you, that speaks about your mentality and your will to win. Taking a charge is a mental decision because you have to want to do it. You're putting your body on the line to make a play. That is something that is not easy to do, and in return it puts your team in a winning position. Like there was a game this season where Podz literally saved a game this season against the Portland Trailblazers where he put his body on the line to draw a game-winning charge. Another reason why Podz is a winning player is the fact that although he is not a great athlete at the guard position, he is one of the best offensive rebounding guards in the league. Last season, the Warriors were statistically the best overall rebounding team in the league, averaging 46.7 rebounds a game. No, you did not hear that wrong, nor am I incorrect. Despite the size issues that Warrior fans complain about non-stop, the Warriors rebounded better than any other team numerically, and they were the 4th best defensive rebounding team and the 5th best offensive rebounding team in the league. Why? Well, we have Brandin Podziemski on our team. Now obviously he doesn't get all of the rebounds, we have guys on our team who rebound very well, and it's very much a personnel thing with the Warriors, but that's a convo for a whole different day. The point I'm trying to make is that Podz is a big contributing factor to that, because according to stats from Cleaning the Glass, he has a field goal offensive rebounding percentage of 5.9%, ranking him in the 97th percentile among all guards. This means that all guards that were ranked 97 ranks below Podz offensively rebounded worse than Podz. On the other hand, his field goal defensive rebounding percentage is 14.9%, ranking him in the 98th percentile rank among all guards. So what can we take away from these stats? It's the fact that Podz is a great glue guy on our team. Even though he has shown a ton of offensive scoring potential, he still makes the effort to contribute to the blue collar work. On top of that, if you've been watching the Warriors long enough, you would know how important it is that the team rebounds well and how much it accentuates the team's offense. Another reason why Podz is a winning player is the fact that he led the Warriors team in total plus minus last season. He had a plus minus of plus 264, way above guys like Steph and Draymond, who are much more important and experienced than he is. Steph being the number one option, and Draymond being the team's defensive anchor and the offensive facilitator is obviously going to always be at the top when it comes to plus minus. However, for Podz to only have a usage rate of 16.4% on the Warriors last season, to averaging a plus 3.6 plus minus per game, which ranks the highest on the team, speaks so much about the quality of his work and the time that he has on the floor. He's a rookie, but he doesn't play like a rookie. He's very mature for the way that he plays. So there was a chance that it was a possibility that Danny Ainge knew some of this information and made it a non-negotiable deal if Podz wasn't included in the trade package. However, fans don't personally believe that. They think it's better to trade Podz and make Kuminga untouchable in this trade talk instead. However, I personally disagree. I think it should be the other way around. I think Podz should be more untouchable in this trade discussion than Kuminga. Podz is a better player for the Warriors through the eye test and the stats. He can hit outside shots, he understands the philosophy of motion, ball, and player movement. He can be part of the offense instead of having the offense run through him, meaning he can set screens, he can run DHOs, and he makes a ton of great plays because he's a winning player. Whereas Kuminga certainly flourishes against certain matchups on the offensive end of the floor, he very much lacks in other areas of the game where he should be more impactful. And there's going to be someone watching this that's going to say,
"Oh nah, you're wrong. Kuminga averaged 20 plus points per game in X amount of games and in X amount of minutes. He's clearly better than Podz."
Here's the thing, let me first address this by saying that as an individual player, Kuminga has more potential than Podz. If they were on other losing teams, Kuminga would likely be a first or second option. But on this Warriors team, Podz has shown more potential in fitting in with this Warriors team. And against the best teams in the world, Podz has displayed more success than Kuminga. Kuminga had 23 games where he scored 20 points or more last season, but only 7 of those games were against teams that secured a playoff spot in the top 6 seed or more. Meanwhile, Podz had 4 20-point games last season, and all 4 of those games were against the best teams in the world: Minnesota, Milwaukee, Phoenix, and the Clippers. So that just shows that against the best offensive and defensive teams in the world, when Podz is given the opportunity, he is capable of scoring against the very best. On top of that, Podz has much better on and off stats compared to Kuminga by a country mile. According to Cleaning the Glass, Podz had an efficiency differential of plus 6.2. Efficiency differential just means team points scored per 100 possessions minus team points allowed per 100 possessions. And a player's efficiency differential would equate to an expected amount of wins, and his team was expected to win 15 more games with him on the floor compared to off. Kuminga had an efficiency differential of plus 2.0, and his team was expected to win 5 more games with him on the floor compared to off. If we take their on-court stats only, Podz had an efficiency differential of plus 5.3, and because of that, his team was playing like a 54-win team. Kuminga had an efficiency differential of plus 3.2, and his team was playing like a 49-win team. And I know what you're thinking, I just threw a bunch of stats at you. How are you supposed to take anything away from these stats? Well, it's very simple. When Podz is on the floor, the Warriors play like a team that would likely finish at the top of the West with 54 wins. But if he's off the floor, the Warriors wouldn't even be in playing contention. 54 minus 15 equals 39 wins, which meant the Warriors would play like a team below 500 with Podz off the court. Talk about impacting the team. Like, that is a substantial difference compared to Kuminga. If he's on the floor, the Warriors would play like a play-in tournament team with 49 wins. But if he's off the floor, the Warriors would still be a play-in tournament team with only 44 wins. 49 minus 5 equals 44 wins, which meant that the Warriors would still finish the 10th seed this season without him on the floor. Meanwhile, Podz playing means the Warriors are a top 4 seed in a stacked Western Conference, and him on the bench means the Warriors would not even finish over the Rockets this season. So here's the thing, if you pay attention to highlights and individual stats, Kuminga stands out more than Podz. But in terms of helping the team win, Podz as a rookie has done so much more than Kuminga in his 3rd season. And besides, if you watch games, Podz is a much more calculated player than Kuminga. He makes fewer mistakes than Kuminga. So are the Warriors really being unintellectual about Podz's potential and his impact on the team? Statistically, no, far from it. I think the issue is that people are misunderstanding that the Warriors believe Podz has the potential to be among the next best guards in the league like Jalen Brunson, Ja Morant, Tyrese Maxey, etc. And does he have that potential? Right now, probably not. But that's okay because I personally think that Podz could be a Derek White type of player for us, which right now and in the long run is probably better. So all in all, I think everyone just needs to chill out and give Podz an opportunity to replicate the same success in a more demanding role this upcoming season. Like, y'all haven't even seen him play a minute yet this season, so let's see if he can continue to move in the right direction when his name is being called much more often this season. As long as the dude is not on TikTok begging for money and having people pay for a 30-second call with TJD, then I think we should be good.